Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another scenario for Get Diagnostics, where we will fetch the table name which is used while executing the query that causes error. Okay, so to access this or to fetch this, what we will do? Firstly, I will show you the table on which we are performing these operations, and then later we will walk through the program. Okay. So let me show you the session B first in order to show you the table. And here I will run one command which is strsql. Okay. And once I hit this, it will open this screen where I will show you the table structure. Because we know that we are going to create some error. So for that purpose, I created this table where we are using students 2 as a table, and we have two columns, student ID and student name. Here the student ID is primary key, and why? Because we want to generate the duplicate key error. So whenever we try to insert duplicate value for the primary key column, then it will generate the duplicate key error. In previous sessions also, we use the same format and same table in order to generate the error. So same thing we are doing here. The only difference is that this time we are fetching other information. Okay, so I just declared this table. I just created this table with two columns, student ID primary key and student name varchar 255. So let me remove this because it is already created. Instead of that, what I will do, I will show you the data of this table. Select star from Sharmit1 slash and my file name is students2. Once I hit enter, you will see we have 10 records here from 101 to 110. Okay, so this is the data that we have. Now what will happen if we try to insert the 110 again? Let's see what will happen here, because this is a primary key. So I will write here insert into, then I will take F4. Here I will provide my file name, which is students2, and my library name is Sharmit1. If I hit enter, maybe something is wrong here. Let me check again. Students2. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay, so students2 and Sharmit1 I have provided as a file name and library. Now here I will try to insert 110 again and the same name 110 name. So if I try to hit this query, it will give me one error which is duplicate key error. And why it is coming? Because we are trying to insert the duplicate key inside this in students table which contains primary key. So that's why it is giving error. And if you would like to check the more details about error, you can press F1 here. You will find all the information regarding this. But this is not our requirement for now, right? We just want to generate one error. It is generating. Now we will generate the same error with program and fetch the table name. And what does this table name will represent, we'll see. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are using Get Diagnostics for table name, as I told you, and here we are using we are declaring some variables. So my first variable name is gdinfo, which is of type character 128. Now there might be one question, why we are selecting data type as 128 only? Because when you check for table name in your IBM official website for this constraint table name, this statement, then it will provide you the all information like data type, length, what is the data type required for table name, what is the length required for data for table name. So from there itself you will find out, yes, char 128 is the maximum value that we can declare here. So I declare it. Variable name you can select any, it is up to you how you will decide your name. In this session I'm just fetching only one information, so I just make it as gdinfo. Otherwise, if multiple values I am fetching, then I will make it with some meaningful name like gd underscore table name or something like this. Okay, where gd is representing Get Diagnostics. After that, I have declared another variable with a name result, which is of type character 10. Okay, which is of type character of length 10. So after that we are setting the commit option to star none, and this is the thing that we always do in all the SQLRPGLE programs. So I just repeated the same here, and then we are trying to insert the data into students2 file, and this is the query that I'm using. Insert into Sharmit1, which is my library name, slash students2, which is my file name, and the value that we are inserting is 110, and we just saw that 110 is the data that is already exists in our table. Let me show you again. You can see 110 is already there, right? Now what will happen if we try to insert this again through the SQLRPGLE program? It will generate error. Now which table was used during executing this query which causes that error will be our target. We want to fetch that value only. So for that, what we will do, we will use get diagnostics condition 1 and use the same syntax, exec SQL get diagnostics condition 1, and we are fetching table name into gdinfo variable, where gdinfo is our host variable. Okay, so it will fetch the table name and store it into the gdinfo, but only in case of failure. Whenever there is any kind of issue with the query or any failure with the query, then only it will return the table name. Otherwise it will return blank string. We will see once we executed this process, then we will run it for the positive case as well. So once you have got the information into gdinfo, then we are trimming it in order to print, and then storing it into result variable, and then we are displaying the result. And at last we are setting the star INLR to star on. So let me quickly compile this and call this. So once we call this, it will print the table name as students2. Why? Because this is the table which was used in order to insert the record into file, and that causes a error. So it generally returns the table name, or you can say file name, which is causing the error. So that's why we have got this students2. Now another question is, what will happen if we insert the correct data? So let's see. So right now what I will do, I will try to insert the record for 111. Okay, and you can see there is no record available with 111. So let me try it. So here I will just put student ID as 111 and student name as 111 name. So this time if I run this program, it is compiled, now calling this. So you can see it is printing blank string. Why? Because this time there is no error, and if there is no error, then it will not return any table name. This statement will return table name only in case of error. If there is any kind of error in the query, then it will return your table name, and it will tell you like this is the exact table where you are trying to perform some query, and that causes a error. Okay, so if you check the file data again after refreshing the query, you will see yes, 110 is there. 111 is there. Okay, but what will happen if I call this program again? This time it will give error. Why? And it will return table name. Why? Because now 111 is present in the file, and again this program is trying to insert 111. So let's call it. You can see it is returning students2, which is the file name, and that's why we are having this file name. Okay, all right. Now my next question is like, it is clear like how we can use this get diagnostics in order to fetch the table name, but do you know why we are using these information, why we are fetching this information? So let's say you are working with multiple queries in a program, or because you are working with a project, so there are multiple tables, queries and all, right? So at that moment, if you would like to take a dump in case of any failure, and at the same moment you want these extra information like which was the table which causes an error, so in that case you can simply go and check this get diagnostics, and then you can retrieve the table name, like which was the table that causes that error. Okay, so like from the last couple of sessions we are discussing only on this get diagnostics. Okay, although it is not used in that frequent way, mostly we use row count statement in order to check how many rows have been updated with our last executed SQL statement. But these information are also important. Right now, as a developer, if you are learning this, you might think like, yes, these are not important. But when you are working with a project, then you will find, yes, these are the statement that is running on the project, and that at that moment you will think, oh, this is the thing that we have not learned. So better to go at least one time with these example, and just replicate in your system, so that once you are aware of these things, then later if it is required, you can directly create the query with a Get Diagnostics, or you can fetch the required information. Because there are many information that we can fetch with the help of Get Diagnostics. We have couple of values, right? We have an entire table in IBM official website. So from that table, we are just considering only the main ones, the important ones, and rest you can like simply as per the requirement you can search. Because at that moment you will be you will have some knowledge. Yes, these are the way through which we can declare the variable, these are the way through which we can fetch the value, and the meaning of value as well. So at that moment you can easily utilize Get Diagnostic whenever it is required. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.